I'm going to start off with the Let's Talk GCSEs, and the perfect topic to start off with is about failing your GCSEs and failing your exams. I felt it was important to discuss this because with every exam you sit, there's the chance that you might fail, and it's something not to dwell on in the exam, but it's very hard if you come out of the exam and you feel like, I failed that exam. You can fail exams for a variety of different reasons, from not having a good day on the exam, or not doing enough revision, or even if you just struggle in that particular topic. And as I've said, there's nothing worse than when you come out of the exam and you think, oh my god, I failed that exam, what am I going to do? So in this video we're going to discuss first of all how to get over that feeling of failing the exam, and then what to do if you go to your GCSE results day and you find out that you've actually failed some of your exams. So first of all, how to deal with that feeling of failing an exam as soon as you come out. This feeling is something that I'm quite familiar with, not particularly in my GCSEs but more my A-levels. I came out of, I think, pretty much all 6 of my exams in science and thought I failed. As I've said before, these exams were going through a bit of a change and the wording of the questions were a lot more difficult because the exam board was being so picky with what answers they were accepting in these questions. I remember in one particular physics unit I had time to go through and mark my answers and guess where I'd get the marks. Something I don't recommend doing, but me being me, I like to do that. And I just thought, I failed it. There's no way that I've passed this exam, that I've got the grade I wanted. And probably coming out after the exam and feeling like you just failed it is probably the worst time being around everyone else who thinks that they've done really well or want to discuss the answers. So the one thing that I will say about people who feel like they failed exams is not to. And I know that seems rather ridiculous, I've made a whole video to say don't feel like you failed, but it actually makes a lot of sense. And so from personal experience, and more about my A-levels rather than GCSEs, but again it can be relatable, is that I came out of my A-levels feeling like I failed, and yet when it came to results day I got the grades I wanted. And now this is because that the boundaries on every exam, these are across the board on every exam you'll take at GCSE and A-level, the boundaries are set after students have set the exam. So for example, if students say found a paper really easy overall, most people were getting 80% on the paper, then the top boundary may be 85% for an A, and then that means that everything's staggered out equally then. Exam boards use the Uniform Marking Scale. You would probably heard of them as UMS, and I have not had a good experience with UMS personally. Quite often I was one UMS mark off the next grade. I know that in science, I think it was additional science, I was one UMS mark off an A star. Say for instance, everyone found the exam really hard. Another thing to point out here is that people may come out of the exam quite confident and saying, oh yeah, I've passed the exam. Don't take their word for it, because they may have slipped up, they might have been a bit too overconfident and not realised what the questions are asking. So say if everyone was struggling in the exam and people were starting to get lower grades, so let's say that most people got about 50%, then it might be 60% for an A rather than 85. You just can't tell. And again, speaking from experience, I found out that most of my exams at A-level actually were about 50-60% for an A. And now the boundaries haven't been that low for years and years, but obviously because they've changed the exams around, made them a lot harder, it made everyone feel like they failed, but obviously the boundaries came right down, and I think originally like 50% was a D, but now it was an A because of how hard the exams were. So basically guys, don't come out feeling like you know what's happened. The exam board has to set the boundaries, and first of all the paper has to be marked, and different examiners might give different marks for different answers. So one examiner might say, right, you can have a mark for that, whereas someone else might not. So we're going to look at now what to do if you've gone to your GCSE results day and you found out that you've failed. So first of all, what is failing? Well, it can be different for many different people. So failing to someone might be not achieving their target grades, failing for someone else might be not achieving above a C grade, and failing for somebody else might be achieving a U. So when on results day discussing your results, You have to consider that. The key point here, before we start discussing it further, is that no matter what grades you get at GCSE level, you can always make them work. So say for example, if you were predicted A's and instead you got C's at GCSE level, then you need to understand that this is still a good pass. So you can still probably get on many different courses at sixth form or college or even apprenticeship with these grades. You just might have to alter your direction a little. Say if you wanted to do maths at A level and you needed a B in GCSE maths and you didn't achieve it, then you might have to just alter a few of your choices to suit your grades. What if in your eyes you completely failed, say, and you got grades lower than a D, so you got E, F or U, and you don't have any idea what to do? Don't panic. Don't be that person to feel like you failed and there's no options, because there's plenty of options. You just have to go out and find them. So if you failed, then it may become as a result of not enjoying the school life. So maybe you didn't enjoy revision, maybe you didn't enjoy studying, and it wasn't for you. If that's the case, then consider going into an apprenticeship. The other option is, obviously, you can still go to college. You might not be able to go to the best college in the area, but most colleges do similar courses anyway. When you go to college, you just find out something that suits you. And this might work for you, because rather than studying and having to do science and English and writing essays and whatever, these are practical applications for a job. College courses range anywhere from animal care to engineering to ICT to drama. You can do anything you wanted at college and you focus on that one specific topic. So rather than going to do your A-levels and have a selection of topics to go from, you can go off and focus and go down a career path that you want at college. There's many different options out there for whatever grades you get at GCSE. So don't start panicking and just have a look around at what options are there out there for you. And you might find that this path actually suits you personally more. So there's plenty of options out there for you guys. So that's it guys. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and there'll be lots more videos like these coming up on the channel.